everybody, and welcome back to Tiger Game Day. I'm your host, Rory Kubik, and with me today are Joey Lonergan and Sam Strauss. Tonight, your Blue Valley Tigers take on the Jaguars of Blue Valley West in another massive rivalry showdown that has playoff seeding implications. Joey and Sam, it's always a big night when we play West. What does this rivalry mean to you?
I mean, this rivalry means so much to me. I've been going to these games for many years, not just basketball, all the sports, but basketball even more. It's just going to be an insane environment. You're inside. It's like everything's packed together, and we're always going to get Blue Valley West best shot, as they will for us too.
Yeah, huge game tonight for the Tigers against rival Blue Valley West. Crowd is going to be packed, student section to the top of the stands. We need everyone there so the Tigers can pull out a big dub. And just as always, you just never want to lose to your rival, never want to lose to West. It's always a horrible feeling.
With only 3 games left in the regular season, tonight's game will play a big factor in the final playoff seedings. Currently, Blue Valley is the 6th seed with a 14-6 record after their loss to Blue Valley North on Tuesday. Blue Valley West is currently the 10th seed with a 12-8 record. But with a loaded east side of the 6A bracket, these seeds can still change quite a bit. Joey, what stands out to you about these standings, and how do you see things shaking out?
Yeah, right now we're the 6th seed, and we would eventually, if the playoffs started today, we would play the 11th seed, Shawnee Mission North. And in my opinion, from the 1 all the way down to the 11, we're going to get a very high-level team. So just getting the highest seed possible so we could play a lower seed is important for the first round. And then right now, we would eventually go and play Mill Valley at Mill Valley, which is going to be a tough game. Realistically, we're not going to move into a top 4 seed. Just all 4 of those teams, considering Shawnee Mission South, undefeated. And then 2 through the 4 seed, 3 losses. They're not going to all lose the last 3 games. So just getting that 5 seed and just hoping for the best. And the best thing we can do is win out. And then tonight we're going to see some important matchups. I see Olathe North definitely beating Olathe East, which would move them down from the 5 seed, giving us or North an opportunity. And then the important thing is Blue Valley Northwest beating Blue Valley North, because they would have that tiebreaker over us if we both win tonight, and just controlling our own destiny by winning ball games.
Yeah, I see the winner of that game, that Blue Valley North, Blue Valley Northwest game, winning the EKL. Both teams sitting at 4-0, and it's going to be a huge game for those 2 squads.
Now let's go to our reporter, Hampton Keller, who sat down with assistant coach Brian Mowry to get his thoughts on the rivalry versus West tonight.
Thank you, Rory. I'm here with Coach Mowry here for the boys basketball team. Coach Mowry, how have you seen this rivalry grow as long as you've been here?
It's been very interesting. I started teaching here, coaching in 2008, and West opened in 2001. And the stories of like the division and how it split the school right off the bat were always kind of like legend or myth. I have the privilege of being able to have coached sophomore basketball here, freshman boys basketball, and then varsity boys basketball. And I can tell you the way that it's grown is that it starts immediately at the freshman level. I don't know what it is, what you guys do in youth around here, if the middle schools fight each other, but you kids come in immediately already having this antipathy towards each other. And so what's grown with it, I feel, is that it's moved beyond the kids into schools, into the community and the parent community, because I think a lot of I'll use the word vitriol, but a lot of the extreme versions of this are, what I've noticed is parents yelling and fighting in the stands type of thing. And so then that just elevates everything. There's never been a boring Blue Valley West, Blue Valley High game.
Yeah. So throughout all the games you've coached, what was your favorite memory from them?
What's interesting about this rivalry, in basketball at least, is it doesn't matter how highly ranked one team is or the other, it's always a good game. We've had years where we were way better, and they've had years where they're way better, but it doesn't matter. I think my favorite memory is 2016. We were down 1 with like 3 seconds on the clock, called timeout. Coach Williams drew up a beautiful play for a lob over the top to a guy named Alex DeBay. He just caught and put it in, and then fans, this was at West, so fans mobbed the court. I remember Reeves was there. He knew the play, what it was going to be called, so he had the cameras positioned perfectly. So there's like, it was just awesome. It was awesome. The jubilation and the fans just running the court, it was crazy.
Sick. What do we need tonight to be successful to beat West?
We got to keep the anaconda out. We have to keep the smothering defense, and then share the ball on offense, and we're gonna feast. I think we're gonna feast with sharing the ball.
Sweet. Thank you.
Welcome back to Tiger Talk Sports. I'm Georgia Houston.
I'm Hudson Bright.
And I'm Jackson Gerald.
Postseason season is officially here. Everything matters now. Regionals, state, nationals, it's go time. So let's start on the lanes of bowling.
Regionals are coming up on February 24th, and this team has been building towards this moment all year.
Coach Cowan had a lot of great things to say about this group. For the boys, Brady Walworth, Mason Varashka, and Landon Haas have been leading the way. But honestly, the entire varsity lineup has been strong, including Caden Fountain, Landon Ashton-Trop, and Hudson Mounts.
And on the girls' side, Georgia Muse and Chloe Stone have been setting the tone and putting up big performances.
Coach Cowan said she's really hoping this team qualifies for state. She believes they have the talent to make it happen. Good luck to bowling as they compete for a shot at state next week.
Now, let's move into some swim and dive. State is officially underway at Blue Valley, and they're sending a strong group this year.
We have 3 relay teams that qualified along with 5 individual swimmers competing across multiple events. That's serious depth heading into the biggest meet of the season.
And Grant Puries is a key contributor, competing in multiple events and giving the Tigers a strong presence in both sprint and distance races.
And one of the best chances at a medal comes in the 50 freestyle, where Jace Jones is seated inside the top 8. That's just such a great position going into prelims.
Overall, qualifying this many athletes in relays to state says a lot about how competitive this team is all year round.
We'll be keeping an eye on results and hoping to see some podium finishes.
Let's take it to the mats, starting with girls wrestling. Regionals happened on the 14th, and the girls showed out.
Sienna Enriquez took first in the 125 weight class.
Riley Carlson placed third at 170. Mercy Dowdy took 6th at 110. Kamaya Fort placed 5th at 155. And Jalen Louston finished 8th at 105.
And guess what, guys? All of them qualified for state. That's big time.
The girls program just keeps growing and competing at high levels. Good luck to them at state, and to tag along with that, boys wrestling regionals are happening today and tomorrow.
Coach Williamson highlighted some key wrestlers to watch. At 113, Rocco Lanzazero ranked 5th in the state with a 19-4 record. But from what I've heard, he's a whole double-digit number overweight. If you think regionals are hard, just think about the process of losing 13 pounds in just 1 week.
Yeah, that's just insane to even think about. But at 126, we have Kai Hedgecock with a 20-2 record on the season. Also an EKL champion and is ranked 6th in the state right now.
That is so impressive. And lucky us, Georgia got to chat with him.
I'm here with star wrestler Kai Hedgecock, and what are your goals for state this year?
To win.
It's a big goal. How are you preparing to make that successful?
Just a lot of conditioning, a lot of training, keeping my weight down, and just feeling good, mindset-wise.
What has it looked like trying to make that 126 weight class this year?
It's been easier than the last 2 years. I've been doing it right this year, so a lot of dieting and just a lot of water loading and just being smart about it.
Nice. We're excited to see how you do at state this year.
There's just so much experience. There's talent, and there's just a real shot of sending multiple guys to state. We'll see who punches their ticket.
Now, let's talk dance. The dance team just got back from taking the national stage in Orlando, Florida, and we were really successful.
While most people go to Florida for vacations, the Tigerettes went to work. Long practices, early mornings, and multiple performances.
They competed against teams from all around the countries, and guess what? The Tigerettes placed 8th in Gameday, top 10 in the nation. Let that sink in.
Sink? Sink, let's go, come on in.
Come on in. Yep.
Hudson talked with senior Bridget Burgess about her experience at nationals and on the team this year.
Hey Tigers, I'm here with dance star Bridget Burgess. What were the team's goals going into nationals?
Our team's goals were to do better than we did previous years, and we did do that. We made all 3 of our routines into finals, which we've never done on any of my years on the team, and then one of them also got 8th place, which is the highest we've gotten in a long time.
What were some of those preparations going into nationals?
We had a lot of practices. Throughout the year, we've had 3 each week, but we had to add a few additional ones, whenever our coaches felt we needed it. And it was just really long hours, a lot of work, and a lot of cleaning the dances.
Now this is your 4th year as a Tigerette. How does this year's team compare to the others?
Our bond is really good. All of us are so close, and I feel like that definitely helps when competing. And as like seniors, we didn't want to be like scary like some of the previous years because we don't want people to feel like they can't come to us with things. So I feel like our just team bond has been a lot better, and I feel like we were all really locked in this year.
Thanks, Bridget.
That team never disappoints, qualifying for finals in all 3 routines and having an all-around great season.
Yeah, Tigers. And before you go, you already know what time it is.
Top 3 plays of the month. Let's get into it, Georgia.
Okay. At number 3, Enoch Rodriguez with an electric fast break dunk off a lob. Let's see it. Perfect connection and a perfect finish.
I mean, that was just that was the definition of electricity. It was beautiful pass, beautiful finish. Enoch's head was at the rim.
Yeah, and I think the Tigers just have a knack for just jumping over some St. James defenders because it happened in the football season. I mean, it was gorgeous. That was amazing. Good job, Enoch.
And at number 2, Brendan Walsh with a game-winning 3 against Washburn. Roll the clip.
I heard Brendan didn't even know they were down by 2. He thought that 3 was going to tie the game, so his clutch gene really kicked in and won the Tigers that game.
And it's the same thing as last episode, guys. When Brendan Walsh gets the ball and they switch, it's just barbecue chicken from there, guys. Teams need to learn to double Brendan or something.
I mean, it's seriously just incredible to watch. He was so clutch that game, giving us a crucial win. Hudson, what's the number 1 play of the month?
At number 1, we have Enoch Rodriguez again with the crazy put back dunk over Miege bench warmers.
Let's just see it.
Yeah.
Over 2 people is insane. I even heard those players got cut after that.
I heard something worse than that. I heard that they are now managers for
No.
Bishop Miege.
Are you
No,
serious?
Yeah.
Bro.
That play just reminds me of that. I'm sorry for going back to other episodes, but the Moss Jacob Lockett had against
Oh my
St.
gosh.
James in the fall. It was
That's
exactly
Lockett.
like
It was-
that.
it was exactly
It was
like
like I
that.
was watching Jacob Lockett over again.
Yeah.
But obviously this time it's Enoch over 2 dang defenders.
Just incredible.
Gosh.
Gosh, and sorry to say this, but this does wrap up this week's postseason edition of Tiger Talk Sports.
And good luck to everyone competing at regionals and state.
We'll see you next time.
Thanks, guys, and good luck to the boys wrestlers this weekend. Now let's get back into tonight's game and break down the matchup. Joey, what does Blue Valley West look like, and what do the Tigers need to be concerned about tonight?
Yeah, Blue Valley West is a really balanced team. They're going to play a lot like Blue Valley Northwest, and they're just extremely balanced. They're going to play very hard, as we talked about earlier, especially with the implications of this rivalry game. You look at guys like Max Orr.
Yeah, pretty solid shooter. Knocks down a lot of his threes, spreads the floor out for their point guard, Michael Baum, to drive the lane, get some kickouts to their shooters. But yeah, they're, like Joey said, they're extremely balanced. And look for the majority of their scoring to come from those 2 guys.
And as much as I dislike West, I really like what they do offensively. They like to get all their guys involved, and they don't run many sets. They just go out and they play basketball. But like we talked about, Michael Baum is going to bring the ball up a majority of the time, and their other ball handlers they struggle. They struggle handling the ball, and the Tigers are extremely good at on-ball defense. I'd like to see, us get up more and cause some turnovers there.
Yeah, now what about the Tigers? After losing Division I commit Parker Seitel due to injury, Brendan Walsh and Enoch Rodriguez had been picking up the stack with the Tigers starting 3-1 in EKL play, but they hit the roadblock on Tuesday versus Blue Valley North, and we struggled against their length. Joey, what happened against North on Tuesday?
Well, they flat out just out-toughed us, it felt. And in large part of that, it comes from being undersized. They have 2 6'8" guys that they just had packing the paint, and then when you're face guarding Brendan, it's going to be extremely tough. And I just think that the Tigers can get some other guys to handle the ball and get Brendan open. But Blue Valley North just face guarded him. They packed the paint. So even when he did get the ball and he did get to the lane, he's got 2 or 3 6'8" guys, one being a Division I player, Will Davis, standing there, and eventually he figured out, hey, we're going to have to kick the ball and have other guys score. And the Tigers knocked down threes. They knocked down shots, some of the other guys, but that's got to be done at a higher rate, shooting 9 for 24, a little bit higher clip, slow down some of those turnovers, rebound the ball more, and you shorten that 10-point lead into ultimately probably a win.
Yeah, my biggest takeaway from Tuesday night's game against North was just the rebounding. You know, us without our big guy, Parker Seitel, obviously doesn't help with that, but just the Tigers got dominated on the boards. You know, Will Davis himself had 12 rebounds just by himself, 17 points. He was a huge force for North in that win. And, you know, like Joey said, Brendan trying to get to the lane and just a big 6'8" Will Davis there just was just too much for the Tigers. But lucky for us, for our game tonight against West, they are not as big as North, so the rebounding will be, you know, a lot better for the Tigers. Still going to be a factor, but, you know, just with the shorter West team, it just won't be as big as North.
Yeah, and an interesting part of that is we want to talk about this West game. It's extremely important, but looking back into the standings of the playoffs, the Tigers need to really focus on rebounding, considering the fact that they're going to play one of those top 4 teams in the playoffs. And all 3 or 4 of those teams, you look at Shawnee Mission South, you look at Olathe North, you look at Mill Valley, they got bigger guys that the Tigers are going to have to figure out how to rebound over. So they need to work on that tonight and, most importantly, get that win.
Yep. Yeah, so for tonight's game against Blue Valley West, we have our 2 key players, starting with Tiger point guard Brendan Walsh, who struggled Tuesday night, but, you know, the whole team kind of struggled. I don't think anybody got into double figures in scoring, but Brendan is at a 20.6 point per game clip in EKL play through 5 games, at 3.2 assists. And you know what impressed me the most was 51.7% from 3 after a really slow start this season with him shooting just 30%.
Yeah.
And then Enoch Rodriguez at 14.6 points per game. Been consistent all year, averaging just around that for the whole season. He's at 5 boards a game, which is going to be big for the Tigers. Might need a little more from him as one of the taller guys on the team without Parker. But yeah, he's also shooting at a great clip from 3, 43.3%.
Yeah, and we've talked so much about rebounds. Enoch averaging 5 a game. Some other guys are starting to pick up that slack, as myself, on the rebounds. But we've talked so much about rebounding the ball defensively over and boxing out some of those 6'8" guys. The Tigers can also crash the boards, especially tonight against Blue Valley West. But Blue Valley West also does push the ball. So it's just finding that balance of, hey, let's go get a rebound, and then let's go back, get back on defense and get another stop, which I think the Tigers are going to do a really solid job defensively against Blue Valley West. Very good defensive team.
Okay, Tiger fans, make sure you come out to Blue Valley tonight and support the boys basketball team as we take on the Jaguars. For Sam and Joey, I'm Rory Kubik, and go Tigers!